Well, that's interesting. Well, we might not be having a show tonight. Very interesting. The Facebook server is down. We can only use YouTube. So if anybody is trying to log in under Facebook, they're not going to be able to get the live show. And I just wonder if we're even. It says we're live on YouTube, but very interesting. This might or might not be a show tonight. Because I don't see anybody logging on under YouTube. It might not even be going out. This is interesting. Very interesting. By now, I should have somebody logging in. So if they are logging in via Facebook, they're not going to be able to. But it's saying that we're right now on YouTube Live. But I'm not. It's 7:05 and no one is logging in. Well, we'll give it a few more minutes. And if we don't get anybody logging in, then we know we've got problems. But Facebook shouldn't have anything to do with my YouTube. But nobody's showing up in the chat. Oh, okay. Hey, where you been, stranger? I was just getting ready to log off because we got a problem. When I went to start the show, tells me the Facebook Live server is down. I've never run into that problem. But when I tried to do the dual platforms like I always do with Facebook and YouTube, it would not let me start. So I guess we'll play an intro and do a start. What do you think, asshole? I mean, Grumpy, Vulture? Let us play an intro. From the WDWL TV Multiplex, live from the Red Studio. With great anticipation, we bring you the pride of the station, the grumpy old man, and, the grumpy vulture. Would you like to take your bow? Okay. Do it right. Get the banner up. That's good. There you go. Get the banner up. Look at the camera. Okay. Good bow. Good bow. All right. You only have to wear this for another month and a half. Back in your spotlight. Look at the camera. There you go. Get the banner straight. Come on. Move this out of the way. I can't figure out what the hell is with Facebook, But I could not start. Every time I hit start, I get this big warning up in the corner. Unable to proceed due to Facebook server problem. So what I had to do was completely X out of Facebook, and I'm just running strictly on YouTube. The whole thing is, like, Kathy and Jenny, they're usually here by now, so evidently, if they're trying to log in on... Yeah, but when they're logged in, it shows a YouTube logo in the chat. Now, I don't understand what the hell's going on, but usually Kathy is right here on time. Very interesting. Very interesting. Well, so if anybody is trying to log in here tonight through their Facebook, they're not going to be able to see the show through Facebook. Then I would have a Facebook logo in the corner in the chat. Everything is YouTube. And when Jenny logs in and Kathy logs in, it's always all Facebook. Now, I don't understand what's going on. This is screwy. So how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. And I find it hard to believe that the Facebook server would be down for an extreme amount of time. Now, I don't know supposedly when the server went down, but you would think with the gazillion technicians that they have working at Facebook, they would have had the problem fixed immediately. Yeah, that's like, the time change really screwed us up because Nomad doesn't he doesn't come in anymore because it's frickin' midnight over there. And he says it's too late. So I haven't seen Nomad in since the time change. And Mears, I don't know if they do a time change down in the land down under or not. I haven't seen Mears in quite a while. And Wyatt, he wasn't feeling good. I kind of worry about Wyatt because he had a goddamn lingering headache that was going for days and days. And that don't sound good. And he gets all his medical through the VA. And never dealing with the VA, I don't know if you. I don't think the VA has an emergency room. I don't think you can go in there for an emergency. I don't know. We've got a new VA. They build a new building over on Brook Park Road. I can't remember where. I've driven past it. Matter of fact, I'm driving down Brook Park one day. I was like, when did that go in? I see, But I don't remember seeing an emergency room sign, so I don't think the VA does emergencies. I think you have to go to a regular hospital and then they boot you over there. I don't know. Never been a veteran. I didn't have to go traipsing through no rice paddies. I lucked out. Unfortunately, 6 of my friends didn't. And I don't know anybody to. I don't have any. As a matter of fact, I don't have any veteran friends or close to ask them how the VA works. Were you doing like mandatory overtime? I used to hate that. It never failed. When you didn't want overtime, oh, this is mandatory. Although my little sister is the opposite way. Oh, she sucks up all the overtime she can get her hands on. Matter of fact, for a couple of weeks, she was working 7 days. Then she calls me and bitches. Oh, I'm so tired. Well, you don't have to work 7 days a week. Oh, the good old Teamsters. Yeah, I remember back in the day, especially when Jimmy Hoffa was head of the Teamsters. Oh, I hear he's under some parking lot in New Jersey. That's amazing. They never found him. Never. And as many times as they reopened that case, wherever they put him, they did a good job. The rumor was he was under a parking lot somewhere in New Jersey. That was the rumor that was floating around for the longest time. He probably ended up in a landfill somewhere. Oh, really? I knew his son had gotten the job replacing Dad, but I didn't know he got booted. Although I'll tell you what, I've never been in a union, never. I've always been management. And the one body shop I was managing at a dealership, they were represented by the Teamsters. I can't remember what union, what local. And the goddamn business agents, every year, a brand new car. Every fucking year. And I'm like, get serious, guys. You're sucking up your members' funds to buy a goddamn new car every year. Although my neighbor's father was a business agent for the Teamsters. And when he passed away suddenly, he had a heart attack. And they gave his wife his car. Well, they sold it to her for $1. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I used to get in more arguments with my neighbor's father because I told him, I said, as much as I like you, as far as your job, you're a crook. I said, all you guys, all you business agents are crooks. He had a brand new car, had a big goddamn boat. I says to him, I says, how much of the union money bought that boat? No union money buying that boat. Every year the boat got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah, yeah, that's like my sister. She's a member of the UAW. She builds engines at the Ford plant, and it's hilarious because she was always Little Miss Prissy, and now she builds engines at the Ford plant. Although I'll tell you what, I give her a lot of credit. She works her ass off, and she started at the, I'll call it the block drop, where they bring the goddamn block in and then it goes on the line and they start to build the engines. She's worked her way up through each area. Now she runs the test stands. I can't remember what her union dues are, but they're not cheap. And then the last contract, they lost the pension plan. So all new hires don't have a pension plan anymore. They got a 401k. They screwed themselves. They got greedy. All three plants went on strike at once. Let's shut down Detroit completely. And then, I think Ford settled first. And Ford said, okay, we'll give you a raise, but no more pension. We'll give you a 401k. And Ford had one of the best pension plans around. So everybody got greedy and they screwed themselves. Now, the people that were grandfathered in, they get their pensions. But any new hire that comes in like today, you get a 401k. And you look over the years, going back to like 1900s, when unions started to slowly come into play, there was always problems. Always. It was a good idea in the beginning. Protect the workers, benefits and so on. But then everybody got greedy and okay, Grumpy, you don't want to be laying next to Jimmy Hoffa somewhere. I wonder where. I thought by now Kathy might figure out. Kathy and Jenny, they should have figured out. If I'm not on Facebook, go over to YouTube. But neither one of them are here. And I know Kathy wanted to see my two new shirts. Yeah, I got two more today. I got two the other day. I got two today. In total, I've got 7 coming. Now, watch me strangle myself here, grabbing the shirts. Being a cat person, I thought this was kind of funny. But this one here is definitely, I like this one. Stop asking why I'm an asshole. I don't ask why you're so stupid. I'm gonna wear that to my doctor's appointment. I'll probably get thrown out. What? God damn. Get up. The old knees are going. There goes the goddamn microphone again. Jesus Christ. I don't know why it's been doing that. The microphone works, but the LED shuts off, and I don't know why. And then I unplug it and plug it back in, and it works okay. Let's do a little switch here. Come on, let's get rainbow effect here. How many goddamn clicks do I need to get to rainbow effect here? Finally. Okay, I didn't think it was changing there for a minute. I was going to say, God damn, how many clicks do I have to? Yeah, I gotta. Every shirt that I bought was on clearance. I didn't pay over $5. Matter of fact, a couple of them I got, they were like $2.10. And I figured, oh, they'll be really crappy. But those are really quality shirts. As a matter of fact, I washed them all today. And I figured for sure, either one, they would shrink, or two, they would lose their color, but perfect. 100% cotton. They must be pre-shrunk. Because I've already had shirts that I ordered, and you wash them, and they'll fit a toddler when you get done with them. I had a couple I ordered last summer, and I didn't read the reviews. I'm figuring, for a t-shirt, why do I need to read the reviews? Well, I discovered I should have read the reviews because I ordered them at that time last summer. I was wearing a large. Now I'm in an extra large. I ordered them in large. And I washed them per the instructions on the label, you know. Took them out of the dryer. They would have fit a 5-year-old. I was like, holy shit. So I had some other black items because all the shirts are black. So I read the label, went down, set the washer, dried them as per the instructions on the label. They didn't shrink. But boy, them ones I ordered last summer, oh jeez. I went to put it on, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. Is this a t-shirt or a fucking girdle? Oh, man, did they shrink. And I even washed them per the label. Although, anything that you order that comes from China, I have found, if like me, I wear an extra large, in order for it to fit proper, you got to order a 2X. Because the sizing goes by Chinese sizing, not by American. And Chinese people ain't big. I think it was October, November, I ordered 5 Goofy shirts. And I had to send all 5 of them back because they didn't fit. I'm looking at the label, it says, you know, extra large. They were like medium. Packaged them up. And of course, they were out at 2Xs, so I said, just give me my money. But any clothing items that you order that are coming from China, you got to go, unless, now, sometimes it will state true to size. If it don't say true to size, if you wear a large, you got to order a 1XL. Don't order an XL. Go one more. Go on. That's like shoes. Everything is in, that's another thing that pisses me off, Euro size. They don't have US. So you've got to figure out a Euro size 47 is a size 12. A Euro size 50 is a size 14. Very rarely do they have size 50 or 14. And that's what I need. I very rarely order clothing from anywhere in China because you get ripped off. Gee, here it is 7:39. I thought for sure Kathy and Jenny would figure out if I'm not on Faceplant to look me up on YouTube. Although if you're like on your, say you're on your tablet or your laptop on Facebook, can you access YouTube? I've never tried. I'm not tech savvy. All I know is like when I set Prism up, it gave me a list of platforms, and I checked off YouTube and I checked off Faceplant. I was on Instant Graham Cracker, but I got booted, and they won't let me back on. I don't know. I must have said a bad word. All the shit on Instagram, and they boot me. And it was permanent. I tried to get back on the other day. Nope. And everybody is saying like, what the hell's the big one? TikTok. I can't, Prism won't let me do TikTok. And there's another one, Snapchat. Prism won't let me. And then tonight I get this goddamn Facebook bullshit. It's telling me their server's down. So what I'm going to end up having to do when I end the show, I will have to upload it to Facebook so that anybody that follows me on Facebook can see that I did one tonight, which is a pain in the ass to manually upload it. Yeah, 3 years. 3 years, I've never had this problem. And no matter what I did, it wouldn't let me on Facebook at all. So I don't know what the hell happened. I don't think I got banned. I didn't get no notifications of anything. Maybe. Let me look. Maybe I got a bad boy notice and I didn't know it. No. No. No bad boy notice. Don't understand what the hell happened. I find it hard to believe. I really do. I find it hard to believe that the Facebook Live server went down and they don't have it fixed. Christ, they got 9,000 employees. They screwed me up. And having to upload it manually is bullshit. Yeah. Let me try something here. Let me see if I can. I lost my cursor. Where the hell did my cursor go? Oh, there it is. And let me see if I can access Faceplant. Nope. Won't let me do it. Oh, now that's strange. Nope, it will not let me access Facebook at all. Oh, you know what happened? I tried to start, and I kept getting this notification that the Facebook server was down. And in order for me to start the show, I had to literally log out of Facebook. It would not let me start. And it makes no sense. Because I'm not banned. I didn't get no, I just checked my Facebook. And I find it hard to believe if the server went down with Zuckerberg having 9,000 goddamn employees that they didn't get it fixed. But it wouldn't let me. I couldn't start. I had to exit completely out of Facebook, and I'm running strictly on one platform tonight. I'll show you the shirts. Being the cat person that I am, let me move this out of the way. I thought that one was cute. And then this one. Stop asking why I'm an asshole. I don't ask why you're so stupid. No, you weren't boring, company. I enjoy everybody that comes in here. Don't think that way. We were having a nice chat. Like I told Kathy, this is like we're sitting around the kitchen table with a cup of coffee. You know, like a gossip session. I went back to the old Red Studio. The other one is sold out. Which the only difference between this one and the other red one, it's like it was farther back. So everything in the back is smaller, and the news desk is kind of a different angle. But it was almost like this one. It was just like somebody backed up another 50 feet and took a picture, you know. So it don't break my heart that that one is sold out. Yeah, we were talking about good old Jimmy Hoffa. I said the rumor that has been going around for years that he's under some parking lot in New Jersey. I said talk about whoever abducted him and gave him the old permanent dirt nap. It's amazing because they have reopened that cold case I don't know how many times. And they can't find him. Either he ended up under a parking lot somewhere in a landfill, or they took him out and they fed him to the fishes. I have a sneaking suspicion that's what they did. They gave him a couple of pair of cement slippers, and then they dropped him overboard. Oh, good. Good. Glad to hear it. I was just... Good old Peace Dynamo and I were talking about Wyatt. Because I know he has to go through the VA on everything. And sometimes the VA can be a little slow reacting, and he had that lingering headache, which that's not good. But I'm glad to hear he's better. Hopefully by tomorrow we'll have the goddamn screw up with Facebook straightened out. I don't think, let me see if I can... No, I can't log back into it. It won't let me. So anybody that follows on Facebook, what I have to do at the end of the show is upload it manually, which is a pain in the ass. I don't know why it. And you would think that they would have given me some notification. You know, I go to start the show, I'm clicking start, and keep getting this warning block. Facebook server is down. So I had to take and completely delete Facebook off of Prism, which now it's going to be a pain in the ass to sign back into it. Oh, Jesus. Never a dull moment. Then I go up to Circle K, walk back to the cooler, and the shelf is empty. So I says to the girl, when are you getting more chip dip? Probably not till Friday. Yeah. So I told her, save me 2 big ones. You want me to pay for them now? No. Here's my name. Here's my phone number. When they come in, call me. I'll be right here. Big ones. Not the big. Oh, did you? My tomato plant? My Jack and the Beanstalk tomato plant? Did you find that one? Oh, piss me off. Make a trip up there. Well, it's not that far away. I mean, all I got to do is, cross Lorraine and take 140th up to Triscuit, and it's right there. It used to be Hollywood Dry Cleaners. And Hollywood went bankrupt, and they sold the property. They tore the building down, and they built a Circle K. Yeah, I come in the store. Rounded the chip rack, back to the cooler, and went, oh no! Empty, empty, empty. I said to the girl, I said, did you guys forget to order? She says, oh no. She said, it sold out right away. So I said, here's my name, here's my phone number. When it comes in, I want 2 big ones. Call me. I'm 7 minutes away. I'll be here. Good thing I didn't grab I was going to grab a couple bags of chips, Get me two big containers of dip, a couple bags of chips. Make a trip up there for nothing. And gas was too expensive, so I didn't even buy gas. I hate this bullshit. I don't know if you have it there, but we have a cash price and a credit card price. And if you use a credit card, you get dinged 30 cents a gallon for using a credit card. So if gas is $3 cash, it's $3.30 a gallon credit. And I've complained to the goddamn city. I said, that's bullshit. I know that they have to pay a fee to the credit card companies, but it ain't that much. 30 cents a gallon. And I don't like Circle K. I don't know where they buy their gas from, but it goes through my truck like water. And then the Shell station on the corner went out of business. They couldn't hack it anymore. They were one of the few repair garages that was still left where you could pull in and get your car fixed. And then one day I go in to get gas and he's like, how come it's so empty in here? He says, oh, we're going out of business. I said, really? He goes, yep, we can't hack it. Now it's all boarded up. So I can't get my Shell gas. Now BP is across the street, but I don't get good mileage out of BP. Yeah, well, see, like I explained to the one gas station owner. I said, the government put everybody on direct deposit. And I hate ATM machines. So I don't carry any cash. And I says, I shouldn't have to get penalized for, using a card. In the days when you got, like, when I got a check, I would take the check to the bank and then I would take out a couple $100. Well, now with it being direct deposit, there's no need for me to go to the bank. Except now, if I want to get cheap gas, I have to go. I won't use an ATM. Oh, bullshit. I write a check. Give it to the teller. Give me money. Matter of fact, it's the only time I write a check anymore. I've got everything. Either I pay it through my bank or it's auto pay. Like with Consumer Cellular. If you go on auto pay, they take $5 off your bill. Worth it to me. Spectrum used to do it, but they eliminated it. You used to get $5 off your bill if you went auto pay, but not anymore. Well, my TV stand came in today, so I assembled it. So now I've got the the 50-inch Roku TV on the dresser, and right next to it, I have the 43-inch LG, so I can get local channels, and then I got to wire it up. The 35-inch Magnum box is going to have my CD player. I'll have 3 TVs in my bedroom. And the nice thing with the adjustments, I've got the TV, they're level. So it looks like one big giant TV. It worked out perfect. I put the TV on the stand, and I was like, holy shit, the tops meet perfect. So tomorrow I have to put my LED light kit around that TV. But it was amazing. I hooked the antenna, and then I went into settings, find stations. Ding. So I tested it. Channel 3 come in really nice. Channel 5 came in really nice. Channel 8 came in really nice. Channel 19 came in really nice. I go, all right. That cheapy antenna works perfect. The whole thing is, I don't watch local TV that much. When the news comes on, I'm still sitting there going, who the hell are those people? I don't recognize anybody because everybody retired. Matter of fact, the second stand, the one that I got today, was easier to put together than the first one. It actually had instructions that were written in English. So all I have to do is hook the CD player to the other TV, and I have to kind of move things around a little bit so that I've got all 3 TVs in a semicircle. But it's amazing. The 43 is perfectly level with the 50. And believe it or not, they're the same size. So it looks like a giant TV in the bedroom, except for the framework in the middle. But this way I can watch them both if I want. Look at 11 o'clock, time for the news. Click. I can be watching my interrogation video on one and the news on the other. Yeah, it worked out perfect. It looks really, really amazing. And the stand was a piece of cake to put together. And I've noticed with a lot of this new stuff, they're crappy, shitty, but they send you tools. You don't even have to look around for tools to assemble a TV now. The wrenches are really crappy. I mean, you couldn't take one out and work on a car with it, but it was nice to have a little open end wrench, so that when you're tightening the nut down, and I'll tell you what, both of the stands are really good quality. They're not cheap Chinese crap. Matter of fact, the stand I got today is actually a little better quality than the one I got last week. But they're both really sturdy. You know, I'm thinking, oh man, I can just see it. You sneeze and the TV will fall over, you know. Nope. I paid $28 for the first one and $33 for the second one, because the second one has a shelf. And the nice thing is the up tubes that actually hold the TV are the same size on both stands. So I took the shelf and I put it on the 35-inch TV stand so I could put the CD player on it. And the shelf is good size, man. So now I can be watching an interrogation video, I can watch the news, and I can watch a CD. Have them all going at the same time. Go crazy with remotes. I'm glad I didn't get rid of the TVs. I was gonna get rid of the smaller one, the 35. And I was like, no, hang on to it. And I was going to get rid of is it a 43 or is it a 45? That's something good. I was going to get rid of that one. I'm like, who needs two big TVs? I'm glad I kept them now. And the amazing thing is, this computer over here, I've got a monitor mounted on an arm. It's one of those Kobe TVs. You ever hear of them? C-O-B-Y? Kobe. It's a 19-inch dual purpose. You can either use it as a TV or you can use it as a monitor. The picture on this thing is unbelievable. It's almost as good as my Samsung. And I think I paid like $28 for it. It's amazing, but it's a dual purpose. And then talk about stupid. When I moved, I thought I'd lost the remote. So I went on eBay and I found a guy that sells brand new remotes, like $6.95. So I order one. I no sooner get this one in the mail, I find the other one. Okay? Now, the TV was still packed in a box. I put the remote, I thought I put the remote in the box with the TV. The two remotes. I unpack the TV, decide to put it up over here. Now, you cannot turn the stupid TV on without a remote. There's no on-off button. I'm looking for the two remotes. I can't find them. I'm like, what the hell did I do with the remotes? I had them both together. Couldn't find them. Could not find them. It's one of those, you put them in a safe place. So I order a third remote. 2 days after I get remote number 3, I find the other 2. So now I have 3 remotes for the 19-inch Kobe TV. And the other 2 are in the dresser underneath my Samsung TV. In one of them purple velvet Crown Royal bags. So in case I ever lose this remote, I still have 2 more. Yeah, 3 remotes. And when I put the 2 together and put them away for safekeeping, I put them in my sock drawer. Safe place. The problem is, I forgot I put them in the sock drawer. Until one day, my neighbor, Marianne, says to me, I got a clothing pickup next week. Do you have anything you want to donate? I said, yeah, I got to clean out my dresser. Remotes. So now, I shouldn't call it a dresser. It's like an armoire or a sideboard. It's got 2 drawers and then 2 cabinets underneath the drawers. So what would you call it? An armoire? No, an armoire is a sideboard. It looks like a dresser, but like I say, it's got 2 drawers, and then underneath it's got 2 cabinets with a shelf. So what the hell would you call it? A sideboard? I know there's another name for it, but I can't think of it. I'm thinking sideboard because my grandmother had one, and it was something like that. It was like just it looked like a dresser, but it was for storage. Well, everything for all the TVs goes in them two drawers. One drawer's got various cables, and then the other drawer has got manuals and remotes and spare parts. Like when I put the TVs on the rack, I had to take the feet off of them. You know, those are in the drawer. So I know where everything is now. And then underneath on one side is all my DVDs and CDs and cassettes. And the other side is empty for now. I'm thinking of putting my LPs in there. They probably would fit. Yeah, they would fit. Maybe I'll put them in there instead of in the milk crates. Matter of fact, I had a bunch of. Remember when you go to Peaches, get a milk crate? They had peaches all over it. I had a bunch of them, but you know, they were made of cheap, crappy wood, and they fell apart. Good old Peaches. Oh, God. I love that place. Right at the corner of Brook Park and Pearl. In the old, I remember the other day, it was the old Federals. Remember Federals? That was the old Federal store. That's where Peaches was, the old Federal store. I couldn't think of it. I knew it was a store of some sort. And it just popped in my head the other day. Federals. I can't remember what's there now. Something's in there. I'm going to take a ride by and see what's in the old Peaches. It was a sad day when they went out of business. Oh my God. But you know, that's the problem with technology. First, they did away with the cassette players because the CD players came in. Well, then they did away with the CD players because streaming music came in, and infotainment centers, and iPhones. So people weren't buying shit anymore, except me. God, there was just rows and rows of records, and then tapes, CDs, and then all the accessories. Peaches was a neat store. Those guys had the right idea. Just too bad technology put them out of business. Did you know there is still one Blockbuster in America? I saw it the other day. I can't remember where it's at. There is one. Remember Blockbuster? God. Blockbuster and Hollywood Video. But Blockbuster, oh, jeez. Matter of fact, when they were closing up, I went in and I bought a shitload of VHS tapes. I went in with a list of movies. I said to the girl, you got this, you got this, you got this. They were all like 50 cents a piece. I went out of there with like $25 worth of goddamn VHS tapes. Although I have two VHS tape players. And now, I actually have three. The one is the stupidest machine. It's called Go Video. That's the name of the machine, Go Video. It plays VHS or DVDs. Okay? It's a dual deck. It also records. Here's the stupid thing. You can't record a VHS to a DVD. It records DVDs to VHS. Stupidest machine on the market. And I bought one, thinking I could copy my VHS tapes to DVD. No, it works backwards. Now, how many people today want to take a DVD and make a VHS tape? I don't know what that company was thinking. I bought one because it said copies. You can copy movies. I was like, I'm going to take all my VHS and I'm going to burn DVDs. Then I read the instructions. And it says, copy any DVD to VHS tape. And I bought one. And it wasn't cheap. So I have my dual deck Go Video, and I have two other VHS. Although I'll tell you what, you got to be really careful with old VHS tapes today, because that glue strip dries out. And I've already had 500 feet of brown spaghetti when that let go. That's the only problem. Luckily, I was able to find Airplane and Blazing Saddles on DVDs because I destroyed the VHS tapes. Of course, I have two VHS cameras and two VHS-C cameras. JVC-C cassette. And I also have the adapter where you drop the cassette in the VHS adapter and you plop it into your VHS player. They all still work. I every now and then I test them out. And I have a case of brand new, unused VHS tapes in case I ever want to go out and record. I could see me pulling up at the scene of an auto accident. WDWL TV here. What are you recording with? It's a VHS. Get out of here. How did you happen to figure out I was on the air? How do you get your notification? You get it on Facebook or do you get it on YouTube? Because I was really worried when I didn't see you pop in. I was like, uh-oh. She don't think I'm doing a show tonight. But see, if you look in the chat, everything is YouTube. The only time that I've had a little Facebook logo was when Roger popped in them couple of times. My painter. No notification, huh? Yeah, there's a big screw up. I'm gonna have to figure out what the hell happened here. I hope I can get logged back into to Facebook because it's a bitch on Prism. Yeah, it just would not let me start until I just blew Facebook away. I couldn't even turn it off. I had to delete it. I kept trying to start and kept trying to start and I kept trying to start. Well, at least it showed up on your laptop. Always some bullshit, you know? I can't win. And you would think Facebook is worldwide. They depend on videos for income. If their server went down, you would think they would have jumped right on it. I don't know supposedly what time it went down, but it kept telling me, server down, server down, server down. So I had to just delete Facebook completely. And then it allowed me to start. And then nobody showed up, and I was like, uh-oh. We ain't gonna have a show tonight. And then in pop Peace Dynamite. I almost fell off the chair. I was like, wow, where you been? You've been doing that thing called work. Mandatory overtime. So evidently Jenny probably didn't get a notification either. She's probably sitting there going, no show tonight. Hey, I'll run 7 days a week, you know. Now see, the counter is showing 3 people logged in. Unless maybe that's 3 people watching. I never looked into that. Maybe there's 2 watching and you're in the chat. Maybe that's what that means. There's actually 3 people watching live right now. And you notice there's no blue, no Facebook. Yeah, I could not log in. It would not let me. So I said, well, let me see if I just delete Facebook. So I deleted it, and then it let me start. I didn't get started until like 7:10, trying to figure out what the hell was going on. That's the way my day, no chip dip, gasoline too expensive, base plant server goes down. The only good thing was my TV stand. And as nice as that one is, now the other one's nice too. But the base on this one, like the one that I got last week, is like an H, okay? With a crossbar in the middle, and then you got 4 wheels. This one has got wide legs in the front and then little legs in the back. You can back that thing right into a corner. It nestled right in that corner perfect. So I'm actually thinking of ordering another one. And then have the 2 in either corner of the bedroom rather than the way I got it now. Have 1 in each corner and have the big TV in the middle. And on the second, the wheels screwed in. On the first one, they popped in. Problem is they don't fit really tight. And when I wheeled it across the carpet, the one wheel popped out. The one I got today, they actually thread in. So I might just order a second one. and then asked Marianne if she would like a TV stand on wheels. She don't watch that much TV. She probably would go like, nah. I'll tell you what, she's got an interesting job. She works from home. She translates, get this, contracts. Chinese contracts. She translates Chinese contracts into English. I don't know where she learned to read and write Chinese. Every now and then she'll send me an email in Chinese. Just to screw with me. And I'm a text message. So I'll text her back with big letters. WTF. And then she'll translate it. She's been doing it for years. I gotta ask her one day how she got hooked up with this company. But they send her PDFs in Chinese. And then she translates them into English. Like sales contracts for export companies, shit like that. But it's amazing. And she told me writing it is extremely hard because, like, if you know, they're all symbols. And if you put like a little tiny line in the wrong place, that symbol means something completely different. Like it could be insert screw in section B. And if you put the wrong symbol in, it's like, screw you, bitch. Well, that's what she did all day. And the thing that amazed me was during 2020, she was still busy. She's always got work to do. So I don't know how many outfits she works for or what, but because I finally asked her one day, I said, I know you work from home. What do you do? She says, well, I translate contracts. I said, what kind of contracts? And they're all like sale contracts. Or like I say, import, export. I said, what kind of contracts? Chinese. Chinese? Like, you know Chinese? She said, oh, yeah. Once you learn it, she says it's an amazing language. But that's what she'll get a PDF in Chinese. And she's got 2 screens. And she'll blow up the one, and then she translates. And then sends them, because she'll get the Chinese one and she'll convert it to English. And then if there's any changes or modifications, she does the English one back into Chinese. So, I got one day I told her, I says, I want to come over and I want to see you work. She's like, oh no, you make me nervous. She said, you really got to concentrate. She must make pretty decent money. Because I never hear her complaining like, oh, I'm broke this week. Yeah. I'm really happy that she moved back here. Because she had that big, I can't remember where in Virginia she was living. Out in the middle of nowhere. She had what did she have, 20 acres? 25? She had a big, huge farmhouse and I think 25 acres. Because when she bought this, her and her boyfriend bought this farm, it came with a free horse. And the horse was blind. And she said it was amazing. That horse knew every inch of that pasture. It would run like it could see and stop before the fence and then run back. That's what she said broke her heart when she came back here. She couldn't bring the horse. But the stipulation was whoever bought the farm had to take care of the horse. She said none of this horse meat or give it away. But her boyfriend had cancer. And he ended up passing away. And she decided to, well, like she said, it was a pain in the ass. You had to drive like 20 miles to the nearest store. And it was like a little mom and pop place. And if you drove into town, it was like 35 miles one way to town. And no street lights. She said, oh, it was a scary place to drive at night. So she sold the place and packed up and came back. Luckily, she rented her house. She was going to sell it. And I told her, I said, Mary Ann, it's paid for. Use it for income. I said, rent it out. And I said to her, what if you ever wanted to come home? What if something happens, like I could foresee this? I said, what if something happened? And you didn't want to be down there anymore? She was like, oh, and then she rented it. And she just told the guy she was renting to, hey, I'm not renewing your lease. I'm coming home. So it's nice having her back next door. Holy shit. That's really country. 45 minutes. Yeah, you were really out in the sticks. Although, not too many cops hanging around. You can do a little speeding. Don't have to worry about radar. Although, like Smokey and the Bandit, you get some old sheriff sitting on the side of the road. Although, it used to be like that back in the day around here. Yeah, I remember my uncle had, that 60-acre farm in Columbia Station. You drive and drive and drive, there'd be no street lights and nothing. And now his farm is a housing development. Matter of fact, most of the farmland out there is all development. God, it used to be acres and acres of corn for as far as the eye could see. Now it's acres and acres of housing. Maybe it's Marianne. I won't bitch. Hang on. Maybe it's more cookies. Oh, oh, oh. I'm coming. Oh, oh, oh. Let me move these. They're in the way. Yep. Corn muffins. Huge. She said, I had a taste for corn muffins. So I baked some extra. They're the size of saucers. And they smell really nice. Still warm. She's on a baking binge. I says to her, I says, baking again? She goes, yeah, I've been bored. Oh, those cookies were to die for. Oh, I rationed them. It was hard. I rationed them. I only ate 3. I was reaching for a 4th one. I went... So 3 more tonight. No. I have a corn muffin tonight. They're huge. Like softballs. And you know, she lives up by herself. Well, she's got her dogs and her cats, but I mean, I just wonder how many she baked. She probably baked 6. Kept 2, brought the other 4 over for me. I like when she does zucchini bread. She's got these little pans, like little loaf pans. She makes little zucchini breads. Yeah, they didn't have any zucchini at the store today. I gotta drop her a hint. Guess what I got? She'd be looking at me going, is that a hint? Yes. For being a vegetarian, I'll tell you what, she can bake. The only thing is, like she keeps telling me, I can't make pie crust for shit. I was like, Marianne, you bake all this stuff and you can't make a decent pie crust? Nope. So when she makes well, at least like when she makes a pie, it's not canned filling. It's just a cheater crust. And then like if she'll make an apple pie, then she'll buy the roll out yourself dough so that she can make the crosshatch on the top of the pie. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Now see, she makes the corn muffins. And I like corn muffins with chili. There's nothing better than a bowl of chili with some corn muffins or cornbread on the side. I'm going to have to make some chili. And get some, I'll cheat, I'll get Jiffy Mix cornbread. I can't do it from scratch. Now Marianne will, she'll buy the cornmeal and Jiffy. Remember when goddamn Jiffy Mix was like 20 cents a box? Now it's like, what the hell did I pay the last time? $1.98, $2.90, no, $2 something. I'm like, this is Jiffy Max. Remember, it was 20 cents a box. You could get 5 boxes for $1. Not no more. But it's still cheap because it's easy. What is it? 1 egg and a third a cup of milk. Yeah, I think it's 1 egg and a third a cup of milk. Whip it up in a bowl, pour it in a pan. Bingo. Now, you can get the Jiffy Mix pie crust. I still can't. I screw that up, and it's so easy. I stick with the cornbread. 1 egg, a third of a cup. And you don't over mix it. Because if you over mix it, it don't rise. I've done that already. Stupid me, I get the mixer out. Poured it in the pan. Come out like that high. I'm like, what the hell happened here? Then Mary Ann told me, you don't mix it with a beater. Oh. I just wanted it to mix real well. Yeah, well, you overmixed it. I'll never forget. I was on a bread baking binge for a friend of mine gave me a bread cookbook. And I decided, so I decided to make Easter bread. So I'm mixing everything up, and I didn't have enough flour. Not paying attention. Now, no, it wasn't Easter bread. What the hell? It was rye bread. I was making rye bread. And I got mixed everything in and the yeast and and I didn't have enough flour. And I'm not paying attention. And I reach in the cupboard and I was like, oh, flour. Well, it was that self-rising flour. Remember the Little Rascals when they made that cake or whatever? That they had dough everywhere. This shit was rising and rising and rising, and I took it out and I put half of it in another bowl, and it's rising and rising and rising. I was like, holy shit, what the hell happened here? And then I noticed I mixed in self-rising flour. Man, that stuff was going everywhere. I felt like I was the Little Rascals. Beep, row, beep, row. Because I put, you put it in the oven to let it rise. And it's getting ready to go over the bowl. I'm just like, whoa, get another bowl. Put the... I had a recipe that was supposed to be for 6 loaves. I think I had 24. Never again. Pay attention. I never knew my wife bought self-rising flour. I didn't look, just poured it in. Looked like something out of a goddamn horror movie. Goddamn dough going everywhere. But it was good rye bread. I wonder what the hell ever happened to that cookbook. I think my wife threw it away. Every weekend I was trying a different. Oh, this. I'll try this. I'll try this. I think I made like 10 different types of bread. I attempted to make sourdough. And I screwed up the starter. Because you keep it in the fridge. Or there's something, I can't remember how you keep a starter going for sourdough. But I screwed the starter up. Because I remember my grandmother had a starter that was passed down from her mother. And I can't remember what the mixture is for the starter. Because she told me that back in the 1800s, they passed it down to the family. People in, 1930 are using a starter from 1805, But I screwed it up somehow. Well, I think while the muffins are still warm, I am going to call it an evening and figure out how to get Facebook working again. No! It always wants to play the. This is what we want. Right here. And with that, I'm glad you were able to get in tonight. And I'm going to try to figure out what the hell went haywire here. And we will meet again tomorrow night. Have a good rest of your evening.